Hi, everybody. Ron Placone here. So the other week, I did a kind of consumer feedback type thing on a bad experience I had at a hotel, and I had another interesting experience recently. And this is kind of in a similar vein. The other night, I found myself going to a shopping mall to patronize a chain restaurant that we're just going to call Romano's Macaroni Grill, because that's what it is. They got them everywhere, whatever. It's a thing. Now, that is not somewhere I would normally go. I don't really care for chain restaurants in general. I don't really patronize them too often. And now, look, I know that sometimes whenever someone says that, people are like, oh, a food snob or something like that. Look, there's nothing snobby about just kind of caring what you put in your body. There's nothing snobby about saying, hey, I have a limited amount of dollars that I can use to go out to dinner and to treat myself to food that's not stuff I bought and prepared myself. So when I use those limited resources, I want to go to a place. I want to use my creativity. I want to go to a place where somebody poured their heart and soul into this menu, where the person answers to a chef and not to some corporate office, where the food comes in fresh and local instead of in a bunch of freezer bags. That's what I want. I don't want this homogenized, one-size-fits-all, ridiculous culinary experience, because I only have so many dollars to spend on this. There's nothing food snobby about that attitude, but that's my attitude. But I was going to a chain restaurant. Why was I going to a chain restaurant? Because I had a gift card for it. That happens. You get, someone gives you a gift card for Red Lobster or something like that. I got a gift card. It was actually a Chili's gift card, but those gift cards are also good at Romano's Macaroni Grill. Same deal. So we go to the mall. There's a Chili's. There's a Romano's Macaroni Grill. We decided to go to the Macaroni Grill, my fiance and I, because we've never been there before. And I'm like, this will probably be substandard, but it'll be free, whatever. We go into the place. It's pretty much empty. And we get to the front, and the girl says, do you want a table or a booth? My fiance wanted a booth. So they take us to this area, and they say, oh, by the way, be careful. Somebody dropped a glass. There was a puddle right next to our table. Like, right, this place was empty. There were tons of empty tables. Now, we did ask for a booth, but there were tons of empty booths too. They seat us in this booth right near this puddle of water, where eventually they turned it off. So we're sitting there, and we're like, well, that's kind of whatever. There was like a hole in the chair or bench or whatever you want to call it. There was like a hole in there that was covered with tape. It was a very not aesthetically pleasing booth at all. And then it was this bar where there was this guy sitting there. I don't know what his deal was. And there was like that little fire. They have like this little fire thing that they have going on. It was just trashy and so, well, whatever. We're using the gift card. So they have this express menu where what happens is if you order it to go, it's $9, and you can also get it at your table, but you have to like go up there or something like that. I didn't know what the deal was, but I get an express menu, and I'm like, well, these are look, I grew up in an Italian American household. I don't feel comfortable paying $13 for a plate of pasta unless I know it's going to be darn good. And I had a feeling this place was just going to be okay. So whatever, I know it's a gift card, but I'm like, not feeling this place. So I get the express $9 thing. Our server comes over after a little while, mind you, and he goes, hey, you guys know. And I'm like, I don't think we're sure yet, but what's he's like, you can order from it, but you got to go up there. And I was like, okay, was it still the $9 thing? And he's like, yeah, you just got to go up there. Like, he had an attitude. And I was like, okay, man, I got to go up there. I get that. Thank you. And he's like, you guys need a few minutes? I was like, yeah, we need a few minutes. And then he never came back. He just pretty much ignored us for like the next 10 or 15 minutes. He was also behind the bar because they didn't have a lot of people working. They didn't need many people working because there was no one in the restaurant. So this dude's behind the bar chatting it up with his friends, who I think were the people sitting at the bar, never came back to us. Eventually, we closed our menu, still never came back to us. We were sitting here with a thing of bread. We're starving. They give you this bread hunk. They give you a mound of bread that they just drizzled like melted butter on top of it. And then there's oil and pepper. And the bread was, I mean, it was okay. It was kind of soggy, and it was just, they don't cut it at all. Like you either cut it yourself or you just tear it. It was just gross. It was just horrible. So we're sitting there, and eventually I look at my fiance, that still had not come back, and I was like, "Do you just want to split?" Yeah. So we just left, and you know what? Macaroni Grill, thanks for the free bread. I appreciate it. I walked by the person, and I just said, "Hey, we changed our mind. Have a good night." They didn't even ask why. They didn't even ask anything. They were just like, "Oh, whatever." No one came out like, "Hey, were you having a bad time?" They did not care. They did not care about our business. They did not care about their establishment. There's a Macaroni Grill out by me where the people truly do not care at all, and maybe you should look at who you're hiring. So we leave there, and we go to Chili's because there's a Chili's right complex, and we go to Chili's. Experience, man. Our server was awesome and was stoked to be there. He cared. He was like, "Yeah, this is great fun." We were talking about the new Avengers movie. I told him how I felt about that. Star Wars came up. We talked about that. I've been talking about that on the channel and on the show this week. So I was able to rehash some of that stuff, and that was fun. He was good. He was a good conversation. And they do a thing where you can get two dinners for 20 with an appetizer. 20 bucks, two dinners and an appetizer. So we did that deal thing. I'm not a big chain restaurant guy. Just do it up, man. Homes about what they are. They're like, this is what we do. You can get 25 appetizers for $2 here. Your stomach's not going to feel good about you. Your body might hate you, but it's going to go good. It's going to feel good going down. We got some tasty desserts. This is what we do. Get a burger, get a steak. We do that okay. We make it happen, and our sides are very salty. And this is what you're getting. This is Chili's. It's a good bargain. They weren't messing around. They weren't trying to be some chic, posh Italian restaurant when really their pasta probably came out of a freezer. They were making no qualms about it. This is what we do. You can watch a game. We got these little nifty computer things. You can order on those. We are mass-produced, homogenized corporate America in culinary form. That's what you're getting. There's a few benefits to it in this case because it's pretty cheap and affordable and a fun night out and a good way to spend a gift card. And our server's a friendly guy. He's a young guy, probably going to make a next step soon, move on up in the world. But right now he's doing this and he's making the most of it. He talks about comic books. He talks about movies for anyone that wants to talk to him. I wanted to talk to him. He was a cool guy. And the little comment thing I was able to fill out on my computer, I was like, hey, I think his name was Steve maybe. I don't know. But I was like, Steve, great guy, awesome server. It was a wonderful experience. Would I ever go if I didn't have a gift card? Of course not. But if I get that gift card once a year, next time I'm just going to go to Chili's. And quite frankly, they're all under the same umbrella. So I guess you win some, you lose some. Gotta say, had a very wonderful Chili's. That Macaroni Grill, not so much. That was maybe just a clocked out shift that they didn't care. I don't know what the deal was, but they really weren't concerned about our business. But you know what? All's well that ends well. So that was my experience with the gift card. If you have a restaurant and that one happens to be Chili's, maybe you should stick to Chili's. Maybe you should stick to the restaurant that's on the actual card. That might be the way. If it's a Red Lobster card, don't go to Olive Garden in this case. Go to Red Lobster. Similarly, if it's an Olive Garden card, maybe you should just go to Olive Garden. Maybe it's some kind of karma thing. I don't know. But either way, that was my experience. And next time, I'm just going to stick to what's ever on the face of the card. Don't mess with the card. It was a gift to you. Just use it. Use the gift. And then you probably won't be at a place like that for another year when you get another card. This is Ron Placone signing out.